Good morning, guys. Welcome to my shop. I've got something pretty exciting for you this morning. And you do not have to adjust your TVs. I am standing here in front of you looking like a gigantic traffic barrel. Just it is what it is. Okay, before we get started, first off, I want to thank a couple people. This mule is my late father's military mule. Gigantic patriot, American service member. Served 2 tours in Vietnam, an absolute hell. And when he returned back home, he focused a lot of his attention on not only cars, but other things, obviously to keep his mind in the right place, like a lot of the veterans did back then. And I thank all of you for your service. I thank all of the current members of our military for their service. Okay, after saying that, I would like to thank my family, secondly. My late father's wife, Twyla, Trish, Kyle, Kai, my wife, and even my granddaughter for helping me dig this thing out of that fence row and getting it on the trailer and getting it back here to Kentucky. Okay, I would also like to thank the Facebook group, the M274 Owners and Fans page. They've been nothing but welcoming with advice and comments, parts, manuals, what have you, to help me get this thing running and back to where it needs to be. So for that, thank you. All right, now that all of that is said, let's get back to the mule. All right, here it is, guys. This is a 1964 M274 military mule. Like I said, this was my father's and is now mine. It's going to be restored back to essentially just operational use. I'm not going to make it pretty or shiny, or I would just like to get it back to where it needs to be with the proper parts and equipment, running and driving. We'll clean it up a little bit because I haven't touched it since we drug it out of that tree row. It still has sticks, leaves. Hell, it could be a squirrel living in there for all I know. But I'm gonna make this video for 2 reasons. 1, for my subscribers, and 2, just a documentation video for some of the members of the M274 group to review and look over and tell me what I need as far as parts and what have you to get this thing back going. So let's get after it. Again, I haven't touched anything. As you can see, the leaves and sticks and the straps that we used to hold it down to the trailer. But just as a real quick walk around, all of the tires are sliced or dry rotted. To be honest with you, they have no air in them. How they're even standing up like that, I don't know. But for some of you members that are helping me out, here are some of the ID plates. They are sun faded something awful. I'll see if I can bring those back. But I do see the shipment year, or shipment month and year is 11 of 1964. Serial number, if it helps you with anything, seems to be 1309. Seat's pretty rough, but it's there. And I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I would like to either try to get this redone if I could, or find a really nice driver quality seat. Again, I don't want anything brand new if I can help it. Dad would not have wanted it that way. He would have just wanted it operational and in good working order. Okay. Fuel tank seems to still be there. I haven't done enough research on these yet to see if they were gas or diesel. Again, tires are shot, so we'll definitely have to get a set of those. Here's the numbers on the mule. Looks to be 2E8842, if that means anything. Appears to be missing a rear rail section, but the bolts are here. We did not find any of that piece in the tree row. It looks like somebody has tinkered a little bit with the fuel and the electrical. We'll have to go through that. Here's the rear hatch for the engine itself. I've done a little bit of research. I believe these came in 2 and 4 cylinders. I may be wrong on that. It's got some of the badging still there. Looks like somebody has fooled with the fuel lines maybe. That appears to be a different starter. I don't believe that would have been the original one to come with the Mule. That also leads me to believe that this is not only a pull start, but an electric start as well. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, please put this stuff in the comments for me if you would, so I can go back and use it for reference. Now, a lot of this I may be wrong on. Again, I'm not 100% for sure. But I don't believe that's original either, or somebody has tried to fix, or update was originally there. It looks like at some point something was here. There was bracketry still on the frame itself. So I'm not sure if this was originally an electric start vehicle, or had the option rather, and somebody updated it with that makeshift battery box. It looks like the linkage for the suspension, what little suspension it did have, is still there. Everything underneath, with exception to just being dirty, appears to be there. There was a tag there, possibly. Not sure. It also appears the choke, it's stuck, but everything's still, the pull start's still here. I would assume emergency brake, low, high gear. All of the cables, other than worn and dirty, are still there. All of these operation tags are still here. I'll again have to try to clean those up regarding the valve venting and stuff of that nature. Seat control, steering wheel controls. I know that this moves for different sitting operation. Steering wheel seems to be okay, other than cracked and missing a couple pieces there. All the foot pedals still seem to be there. I'm going to assume this is much like a vehicle. Clutch, brake, and fuel. Not entirely sure what this may control. Maybe you guys can leave a comment for me. Or what this may just adjust here. Again, I haven't fooled with this at all. I haven't touched it other than what you're seeing right here, besides pushing it into the shop. I know there's a turret that goes here for, let's say, not being too politically correct, a machine gun. I know that some of these carried small mortar round type cannons, or whatever else you wanted to put on it, my goodness. But if there's any other video I could take to help, for you to help me, I guess, please let me know. It appears there's some mounts here for something that should have been placed there, or could have been placed there, and I'm not for sure if this has been tinkered with a whole lot. I'm going to assume this valve has something to do with the fuel system. Just to be completely honest, I am totally out of my element with this. I mean, the mechanicals for the engine slash motor essentially shouldn't be much different than a vehicle. I'm gonna have to try to get this plate out of here, if I'm being honest. I'm not really for sure what this access is for. But I'll get it out. And it looks like somebody has some modern tubing stuck through the floor here. Not 100% sure if that's the way it's supposed to be, if there was actually a mount here for these 4 pieces. But again, please flood my comments with suggestions or tell me what I may or may not be doing wrong here. Obviously, I'm going to take apart what I can, clean it, go through it, and try to get it running. But judged by the look, cut hoses and wires, it's not supposed to be that way on some of this stuff. And I really don't want to pressure wash anything right now. I'm just take manually an air hose and see if I can blow a lot of this grime out so we can see what's going on. I'm mainly interested, to be honest, if it was originally an electric start / pull start, or if it was just a pull start and someone added an electric start option. And if it's an electric start option that came with the Mule, how did it operate? Was it something you done up here? You know, did it have a switch? You know, I'd be interested in that as well. And I know you guys had mentioned a gentleman on the page that generally has all the parts to restore one of these or close to it. Please put his name and information down in the comments as well. Alright guys, I don't want to bore you to death too much about this, but I just wanted to show it. I think it's an awesome piece of not only my father's history, but you know, our nation's history. My understanding on these, they were key into what we were doing back then, as far as hauling products or even an injured service member or weapons or whatever we needed to resolve the conflict at that time. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. For my regular subscribers, we do have everything ready to go to get going back on Homer. I know there's a couple of you wanting to see those videos, and I promise you I'm working on it. We've just got a lot going on at the shop right now. A couple new vehicles coming to the channel. We got to go ahead and get all of these ready for winter. Got a burnout competition coming up at a get-together up in Indiana this coming up Sunday, so I have got to get the Woody wagon drug out and ready to take up there. It should be ready to go. I've got to get a couple burner tires dug out of this mess for the show, for the burnout competition. I may just put, I've got a new set here. The other two are over on the other end of the shop. I may put those on there and just take these wheels off. I do not want to damage those or the tires that I just put on there. Also have everything ready for the H3. So I've got to get that done sometime this week or next weekend. But we'll get there. If the other vehicles get here in time, we'll get those all maintenanced up, clean, and put away for the winter. Alright guys, that's going to be it. I've got to get off to work, but I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in and watching us every day or every week or whenever you get a minute. I really do. And if you could just make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time.